that is my reason for pursuing cash flow, is because I think that I'm kind of an ADD type where my passions like today are, when I'm on my free time, I'm playing guitar. But a couple of years ago, it was taking pictures every moment. And then, like a couple months ago, it was riding my e-foil everywhere. So and I just know that I'm always going to have new stuff that inspires me that I want to pursue. And cash flow is the key to being able to do that, because I'll get to a point where, that money's just, I've got an allowance essentially every month. That's the cash flow. And that'll cover all of my basic needs and fun stuff. And then if I want to pursue something new, I can just do that. But I don't have to do it with the intention of it like being financially profitable immediately. I can do it because it's what I'm interested in, and it can take me a year. It can be a total charity project. But I don't have the looming thought in the back of my head, I'm going to keep food on the table for myself and my family at the end of the month. So for me, generating cash flow comes from managing and operating and owning and constantly investing in apartments, which I think is also, especially in markets like San Diego, it's an honorable thing to do because we have such a limited supply of housing, and we don't have enough affordable housing. Like, the cost of houses are through the roof. The cost of rent is through the roof. It's like, it's hard to get by. And the reason for that is that we don't have enough housing, and it's a complicated problem to solve here. Sure. Because of all of the restrictions with the city, all of the, there's
there's a lot of red tape that you have to.
There's a lot of red tape, and they've gotten good with the ADU laws of removing a lot of that and kind of opening the doors to actually try to catch up with our demand for housing. And that's what we're implementing right now, building ADUs all over town and finding projects where we can add units or add bedrooms to make, houses have better utility. Sure. And in tune, what's the reward for that? We end up with higher property values that we can pull money out of through cash out refi or flip and sell. And then I can go, take that one property that I did and do two more, then take those two and do four more. Oh, it's like exponential growth. I love that, dude. And it's really cool to think of it that way, because you're like, exponential growth is fun. Yeah. Like, dang. Well, like this year is going to be tough, but next year it's going to be a little easier. And the next year is going to be like 4X, 8X. It like kind of runs out of control. But then, eventually that's the goal right now. That's what I'm doing. And honestly, it might not be the same strategy for you, because it does take a lot of mental energy day to day to manage construction projects. For people who do have full-time jobs or are full-time musicians, I think that the goal should be to like constantly find ways to invest your money in something. You have to
learning, dude, and learning and in applying so that your money can grow somehow, right?
Right. And you can invest with real estate. People like me, they're called syndications. There's also real estate investment trusts, there are REITs, there's DSTs, there's ways to get involved in real estate. There's also, the standard stock market investments where you get into something like an ETF, like SPY. Sure. That's just moves with the whole market. But like, if you're not doing that already, you should at least there's this one company called Wealthfront that it's like every month, you set it. So whatever you think you can afford every month, it just automatically takes out of your account and invests it in SPY or VTI or whatever you set it to. Right. But I would just recommend one of the like general market funds. But what's cool about that is it just does it every single month. So it's not like at one point in the year, you're like, oh man, I've got like 30 grand in my account. I should put like 20 in there. Oh man, 20 is so much money. Yeah. In reality, but like, what happened is it was just every month. So it's like a slow bleed. You just get used to that. That's just like your rent that you're paying. And then all of a sudden, like 2-3 years pass, that's been growing with the market. Yeah, without you even thinking about it. It's not such a blow, especially for people who aren't, making $20,000 wires. Psychological effect of that makes it a lot easier to start growing your money. Because what you really need to do is you got to get $100,000, $200,000 to really get your first property. That's like, and I always recommend multifamily over buying a house than renting it out. People are like, I want to buy a house and rent it out. I'm like, dude, the numbers are way better. The multifamily duplex that's $1 million versus a house that's $1 million. You're going to get an extra $1,500 a month from the duplex. And who wouldn't want that? Or the fourplex or the triplex, whatever you can pull off. The more units, the better. The returns are better on the price point. And then ideally something where you can, maybe it has 2 garages that, maybe not this year because you just dropped $150,000 in the down payment, but maybe next year or the year after that, you've saved up a little bit more money and you can then convert those garages. Now you've increased the value of the property. Now you can pull out some money and do it again on another one. And that's probably the speed at which someone like you or a W-2 employee could start getting involved and start building passive income.